Hello, welcome to the latest episode of the Purest podcast. Today's episode kindly sponsored by SJJ Construction and Witness. Really good quality construction professionals, also massive in the sponsoring several boxers, world-class boxers such as Liam Smith, Jack Catterall, Sam Eglinton, to name but a few. I'm here on location in Bradford today to meet with my old friend Tony Jeffries, former Olympian, great lad, great fighter. Hope you enjoy it. Hello, welcome to the latest episode of the Purest podcast. I'm here today in Bradford with good friend, very, very good fighter, excellent fighter to be honest. Former Olympian, Tony Jeffries. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so.
All right, mate.
Boss to see you. We've just been talking before. It's been years since we've seen each other in person. It's crazy. It's been.
Do you know when you know someone, like we know each other, we've got this relationship.
Yeah.
You can be away from someone for 10 years, like we have been.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we're together, it feels like we've never been away from
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's been 12 years.
Wow.
It's been 12 years because we were out in LA, me, yourself, and Pricey, and we were just sitting having meals and having a good time, and we keep in touch all the time. But we haven't seen each other for that long, and it just passes by quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We're getting old. Look at the grey hairs in your beard now, mate.
I don't know, proper silver. Yeah, and if you do that a bit longer,
yeah,
it'd be the same.
Shit, mate.
Yeah.
But it's mad because now I live in the other side of the world and I don't see people for years all the time. And then when you've got a good relationship, a good bond, we've shared the ring together.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you see them, it's as if you've never been away.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we laughed at me. Talked about titles won before. We talked about titles won, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I mean, you won 7. Was it 7 junior titles?
A total set 7, including the senior one.
7 including the senior one.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was that?
We used to have nightmares with that.
Oh, I tell you. I know just about that fight, just quickly.
So we boxed in the ABA final. It was
ABA final.
2005.
2005.
Right, because that was the spot to get the 2006 Commonwealth Games.
That's right.
If you won that fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then obviously, that was a lot of not pressure, but it's fine in the ABA final as well. It's like it's the biggest thing in amateur boxing in Britain, and then when you've got the chance to go to Commonwealth Games as well. So yeah, that was great.
It was, yeah. I mean, you beat me in that fight. I always remember, and I've watched the video. Obviously, you know, you were probably the best fighter I'd ever been in with at that stage. You know, you were a level above me. I know that, and I'm aware of that. But I've done well to get back to an ABA final. I never forget. As the fight come to an end, I think it was the end of the 3rd round or something. I always remember having this sensation that my leg was stuck. I thought my leg was stuck to the canvas, right? No, when I was going, I couldn't move my leg. I couldn't move my leg like that. And when I watched it back, have you ever seen it when someone gets hit with a shot that hard, their leg bounces?
I've seen legs wobble.
Yeah, my leg bounced off the canvas.
Wow.
And I thought it was just glued to the floor because you hit me with a heavy shot, you big puncher, do you know what I mean? But obviously, look, you great fighter, you won that ABA title against myself. Then I went to the Four Nations, didn't I?
Right, after him.
If you remember,
You boxed England.
I boxed for England again.
Commonwealth Games, you won the Four Nations.
I went to Four Nations before the Commonwealth because I think you were injured or something.
Right.
And I met Kenny Egan, didn't I, over there in Dublin? And did you boxed him in the Olympic semi-final?
Yeah.
And out of the two of you, I boxed the two of you.
Oh, you boxed him in there?
I boxed him.
Right.
I boxed him in Dublin. And you know what? I was good with southpaws. Because I had Perho in the gym, I was sparring him every week. Every time I sparred a southpaw, I felt I had the upper hand. Do you know, you seen me have a good spar with Chunky, didn't you? Remember, and you said, you handled Chunky well there, but that's because I was with Perho, who was the most awkward southpaw ever. And I thought I'd done really well against Kenny Egan.
Right.
I remember he got the decision 25-12, but I thought it was a lot closer. There's a lot of people did watch him. But against you, I felt you were obviously a much harder puncher and stronger than him, do you know what I mean? But on the day in Beijing...
Well, let me tell you, but when you see you good with southpaws, funny story with that, when we were fighting, I've never told you this before, we were fighting, and for a few weeks before, I was practicing southpaw in the gym and I was kind of doing well in the fight where I was kind of cruising it a little bit, and then I thought, I want to switch southpaw, ABA final, I want to switch southpaw, and you probably remember this, and I switched southpaw, and you just like kind of fell in with a big right hand, boom, on my chin, like, shit, switch back. What was I doing going southpaw?
That must have been the only good shot you would have think so, because you know, you won that fight against me really well, but I could mix at that level, but I wasn't at that level. You know, I always found myself to that level. I think when we met in 2005, I was happy to be back in an AB final too, because I'd won it 6 years previous, which was, I was like, wow, back in the final. I think I've lost sight of, don't get me wrong, look, I don't think I've had to box you 1,000 times. I might not have beat you because you was that level, but you start out at the age of about 9 or 10.
Yeah, 10 years old.
And what incentivized you to go into a boxing gym? Where, you know, just rewinding a little bit.
My uncle was a professional boxer, and ever since I learned to walk, my granddad was punching his hands, you know, and show us the boxing stance. And you couldn't go up till you were 10. When I was 10, I got took to the boxing gym, and then I kind of got forced after that from my dad to continue boxing, or I would have quit when I was 10, 11, 12. I lost my first 2 fights, like you did, and I wanted to quit then, but you know, I got dragged to the gym, forced to do it, continue to do it, and then I realised I was pretty good. I was 13 when the first schoolboy title got picked for England, and it kind of snowballed from there. Start boxing for England more, getting them England vest, getting them badge on my shorts, and I realised I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah.
At 16, I won the European gold medal in St George's Hall in Liverpool.
I was there, yeah.
And I was the first fighter to do this from England in like 20 years. Yeah. And this helped the country get some funding. They were England from Andy Harrison. And then they were a bit funded for that. And then they seen the success I had. And I was like, look, we're doing well. And that helped get more funding.
Wow.
And then the boxers got, the champions at that age got put on an 8-year training program. I don't know if you know this. To the 2008 Olympics.
Yeah, okay, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that was your bracket, your crew, your crew.
What Great Britain done, they got the champions ages between 15, 16 and 17, and they wanted to invest in them because they knew in 8 years they'll be 23, 24, which is the kind of peak age for amateur boxers in the Olympics. So they invested into them, and then throughout them full 8 years, there was only 3 fighters that went through. Stephen Smith was one. He didn't obviously go to the Olympics. He should have went. That's a different story. But that went all the way through and went to the Olympics. So I did that, and obviously along the way, people come in, like Big Pricey came in like a few years later, on the scene, and other people come in, and it was an 8-year training for him, a long, giddy, open journey.
Wow. So going back, I mean, you know, you said, I always believed anyone forced to fight would repel against it a little bit. I know of boxers who have been forced to fight a little bit, but it served you well, hasn't it? The fact that your dad was so insistent on you, no, you go in the gym. Look what that's played out like now. If he went, I don't want to force, I want to push him. You've got to go, wow, well, now, where would my life be now?
Exactly, mate. And
you know what I mean? Got to thank him for that a bit, haven't you?
Oh, I do. And he used to obviously go, that was one day, that was one day. Nah, never thought that. And then, what's funny, mate, after he forced us, and I went to the Olympics, I come up with a medal. Yeah. I had a party at the stadium night, and
why when I wasn't?
You what?
probably was, yeah.
Oh yeah, you probably were.
Yeah, but I think it was, yeah. But it was just with it being in the summer, I don't think. But yeah, no, because I was there when you wasn't I?
Yeah.
Beijing, yeah. Great.
So with at the party, I got me down on stage and said, "Dad, you know, you'll thank us one day."
That's amazing. Is that did you? Wow.
And it was great.
That's amazing.
But with that and with kids, is forcing your kids into something the right thing to do? I mean, from my experience, it worked for me, but will it work for you?
That's what I mean. Everyone's different.
It might not. Because some people, some kids will rebel against it and they don't want to do it. And it did work for me. It kept us off the streets. But when I start getting that little ounce of success, that
changed it.
It changed everything. Even though I felt like quitting after you've lost your first 2 fights.
Yeah, because you do. You can get disheartened. I lost my first 2 against the good lad, but I did think I won my second. I really thought I did. Yeah. I've lost my first one, cried my eyes off as you do, at 11. And then my second one, I got back in the return with him. I thought I beat him.
So was the same lad?
Yeah.
Oh, same with me?
Same with you, exactly the same. I thought I beat him. He was a big dead tall, because I was like, I don't know what weight it was. I was 11, and I was 51 kg.
Go on.
I was 11.
That's big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. Nearly 8 stone. And so I was like a little stocky. Obviously, I was always shorter at the weight because I've got big legs and I carried my weight like that. He was dead tall, dead long, and he was just like that all night. And when you're that age, it's hard to. But I did think I won my second one. But me, when I went into a boxing gym, I just loved it from the start. I was lucky that, and I'm good that my son. I didn't need any encouragement. That was a sort of a safe place for me. Yeah. Because my home life was chaotic, too, and it wasn't nice, to be honest with you. And that was sort of my escape. If I think back now. Yeah. That was like a place where I could be safe.
It is for a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And that's why boxing can be great. Whatever problems you've got going on at home, which a lot of kids in boxing gyms have, when you get there, it's like a family. You've bonded with different brothers and all that.
Yeah, you become brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing, what is great about boxing gyms, you could have just got out of jail and you're in the gym and you're working hard. You might be a thug or a local gangster or whatever, and then you might be training alongside a police officer, and then the police officer, like when you're in the gym, you're like, you forget everything else. The police officer might be asking this guy, can you give us some tips on how to do the job better? Yeah. Or you might be in with a multi-millionaire who's asking advice from someone who works in Starbucks, and they just merge together.
There's no hierarchy, really, you know what I mean? There's no, everyone just becomes one, like a little team. I get you. No, I mean, it's served you really well, and it's great to see. Looking at young fighters, if you were to, because looking back on your early life in Sunderland, just to tap into where you're at now, you always had a little entrepreneurial side to you. You always had a business head. Where did that come from?
I mean, my dad's always been a very good businessman, wheeler and dealer. Yeah. And always grasped into that work ethic, and I've got that as well, where I'm non-stop and I'm always wanting more, which is great, and it's got us where I am. But when you get to a point, it kind of becomes a little bit of a problem, because it's like, I'm out with my kids sometimes at the park and I'm thinking, I've got these things to do. I need to speak this person, to speak that person, and I need to do this to build this. And you're always pushing, you're always wanting more, you're always wanting more success. And it served us really well to now. But it does become a little bit of a problem when you've got that obsessive work ethic. But I believe that obsessive work ethic got us to where I am, but it got us to where I was in boxing as well, because I'm obsessed with boxing, obsessed with me opponents and who I was fighting, and being the best and training the hardest. And now when I retired from boxing, that obsession moved over to business. Now I'm obsessed with getting the best gym in the world. And then we created Boxing Burn, got number one gym in California, and then COVID hit, and then I was obsessed with YouTube and building that. Now that's happened. I just get obsessed with things, and it's what.
Yeah, but in a good way, too, because that obsession, I mean, you kept and led a very disciplined, and I mean, all you did used to like a drink, and you stopped drinking a few years ago, which we'll talk about in a bit. Alongside your boxing career, you were never going through all the summer partying, going mad. You still kept your work up, and your training, your discipline, your work ethic. You was never that loose cannon, if you will. Yeah. Do you get me?
Yeah, like we see a lot with our friends who's like that, and I was always coming back to boxing because, that's what I did, and I really was wanting to be the best. Although I did go out and party, and
a little bit
after fights and all that, which was great. And I think with that, I more did that because it's what you did. Yeah.
It was just
when you put in and
accepted
and putting weight on, like everyone after the fights, it seemed like it was a time when Ricky Hatton. What did Ricky Hatton do after the fight? So you go out after the fight, get drunk, eat loads of shit, put loads of weight on, and I was like, Ricky Hatton was the boy,
Yeah. It's copy of him.
Let's do what he does. And then I'm around like Stephen Smith all the time, and he used to always put weight on, and Frankie Galvin, and everyone I was with. I was like, after the fight, let's just eat, and I was like,
eat loads.
We did that and put weight on, like, come back to the camp, everything. It was funny.
Burn it up.
You don't really realise, that's not good for you.
No.
I'm that roller coaster diet.
I know.
But when we were looking up to the likes of Ricky Hatton, who did all the time, we thought, well, he's dead, he's a world champion. He's smashing it. It must be all right, Yeah. So I think I'd done it more because everyone else did it, rather than, because I was at that personality where I was going to be taking drugs and doing shit.
Yeah, I mean, do you think, or is a personality where you start doing something and take it to the max and you go all that way? That sort of bit of an addictive nature of what you do.
Yeah.
But you've applied that in the best two ways I can see. You apply it to your career, your boxing career, and now you apply it to your business life and your home life, which is the best way you can do it, which is why a big thing about why I want to do this podcast. I mean, I had a chaotic life and upbringing, and but I was still trying to box and still trying to get to the top. Still believed I could be a world champion. If you start doing too much of the wrong things at them formative 8 years, you're never going to get to the top, are you? I've never seen a fighter who goes too far that way, drinking and going out with the lads too much and not being disciplined with certain things.
Right.
I've never seen a fighter like that in them years who's got to the very, very top.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
No, you're right. And you've got to basically live the life.
Live the life even from early.
But just because you do live the life and you do have the obsession, that doesn't
mean you're going to.
Right? But you have it.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like if I get people ask us like, how can I get the Olympics? What do you do? It's like, well, you can definitely work on the basics, work hard, do all the things that I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that doesn't.
There's no guarantee you're going to get there.
Yeah.
But you've got very far slimmer chances of doing that. I mean, look, let's just to touch on Perho for a minute. He got to the top of the amateur game, right? Based on how hard he would train and and how good he was, naturally technically gifted. He was so lucky to have that, but didn't live the life in the spare time. Now, you go, imagine if he did.
Yeah.
He'd have been your Golovkins of the world. You sparred him as much as me probably.
Yeah.
How good was he?
Yeah, Neil Perkins was great.
How good was he?
And it's talking about the ingredients. It's got all of the ingredients that most people haven't got.
Yeah. He's blessed with all that.
And it was the other things.
Yeah, little bits of lifestyle.
Yeah, and which is unfortunate, but he had the success that he had with his personality, and he's very stubborn. And maybe if he did have the personality where he didn't do that other stuff outside, maybe that wouldn't affected him inside the ring.
Yeah.
So,
I know what you mean. That toughness, that bit of good and hard training, work at different things.
Stubbornness that he had.
There's like a real mix, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's hard to get all the ingredients in this, and and I don't think I had all the ingredients to be a world champion in boxing. Well, you just said there, I thought I could be a world champion. I would have wanted to be a world champion. I deep down didn't have the confidence to think that I'm going to be the world champion.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to win the Olympics. I didn't think I was going to win the EBS.
Yeah.
And
that's a little bit of a negative mindset at times.
Very negative mindset. And a lot of people think, and a lot of people see it, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe you're going to do it and you'll do it. You need to have the confidence to do it. I was one of the most unconfident people around, and on the England boxing team, I think Big Pricey, he was the captain of our team and I was close friends with him.
Yeah.
I think these boys around us knew that I didn't have that confidence that people thought you needed to win, and I thought you needed that as well.
Yeah.
But I used the negative mindset and the thought of getting beat as my advantage, where it would make us train even harder. And it is like, well, what if I get hit with Joey Ainscore's left hook? He's a good left hook. He's not going to few people out. I need to make sure I don't get hit with that left hook.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about that for the weeks up there. I will fight, thinking I can't get hit with that punch. And then we'll get in the ring, and then you don't hit with that punch, but I've got it in my mind.
Yeah.
So I used the negative mindset and the lack of confidence as an advantage somehow to have the success that I've had.
Yeah.
So, which I've never really heard anyone talk about this.
Yeah.
Because people's not like, no, you need to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You think you're going to be world champion, you'll be the world champion.
Yeah.
You want to win the Olympics, go to the Olympics, you want to do that.
No.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But I got there.
Yeah. So you use the negative voice in your head to push you on further, whereas so you didn't listen to it. You didn't listen to the negative voice. You used that to push yourself further and harder.
I did listen to it, but it was all.
Yeah, but it pushed you.
It was always wrong. That voice was saying, you can get knocked out, you can get beat, And I'm like, I get knocked out. I need to work harder. I need to run more. I need to do this. I need to work more than Joe. I need to work more than this opponent. I need to work as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And that kind of pushed us. Even now in business, it's like, what if I fail? What if my gym fails? What if the members don't turn up? What if this? And I think about a lot of the the bad things. What if YouTube goes away and I'm stop building my income? And what if this? What if that? And I think about that, but it kind of drives us to, I need to do this. I need to do more. I need to do more.
Yeah.
Which is mad. And I've never really spoken about this before, but it's just the way my mind works. And people can't tell us, well, that's wrong, because it's working. It's working for me.
Yeah.
You know. And I'm the happiest I've ever been, and I'm successful as I've ever been right now.
Yeah.
So everything's aligning. You know?
Yeah.
That's what's work.
Do you know, just speaking about happiness, like, I think I wanted to ask you this because how did the happiness feel when you won the ABA title for the first time against the happiness you felt when you won your Olympic medal? Is the levels of happiness? Because I go, when I won the ABAs in '99, that happiness, that's like, I don't think I've hardly ever matched that, except for when maybe my kids were born or something, things like that. It's a very, very niche level of happiness, isn't it, when you win something like that?
Yeah.
You've won an ABA title, you've won an Olympic medal, you've won a European gold. What, were they similar to each other, or was the one that stood out, or?
Yeah, winning the ABAs was massive for me, because my boxing club's got a long history still in the ABC, and no one had ever won the ABA title.
Yeah, I was like that with Kirk.
Really?
Yeah, first. I was the first with Kirk.
So that makes it even better.
Yeah.
Even more proud. And so that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But then I was like the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
And then fighting them, and I won with them, and I lost in them, and it was the worst moment ever.
Yeah.
But then winning the Olympic medal was unbelievable. You know Wayne McCulloch, right?
Yeah.
So, talking about kids and happiness. So Wayne McCulloch was at my first baby shower, right? He used to work at Boxing Bird Gym.
Yeah.
And he was telling us, by the way, Tony, he's got a daughter as well. By the way, Tony, when you have a daughter, it's the best feeling ever. I was like,
Yeah.
better than winning an Olympic medal.
Yeah.
He went, oh yeah. I went, really? He went, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I get that.
I couldn't wait till this happened. But then I was like, oh yes. Then when my daughter was born, she come out and she had some breathing difficulties, and the doctors coming out. I was like, it's not better than winning a Olympic medal.
Yeah.
But then, so then I had the other kid, and I was like, right, let's just feel this feeling. I want to feel this. Better than winning a Olympic medal, eh? My next kid come out, I was like,
maybe when you have a boy.
And then the third kid, but I mean, I love my kids to death, and anything, but the feeling of winning that Olympic medal after being put on an 8-year training program, to that bell going, and you know you've confirmed that medal, to having a kid, and I know I shouldn't really go to two completely different things, but like that buzz,
you've never rivaled it, you've never matched it.
Never matched it, and I never will match it.
Of course, I understand.
And imagine that, like when people take heroin, it's the highest high of the world. Drugs, I never took drugs, but it's the highest high. You're never going to match that again. So that was the best thing ever. And then you obviously out turn pro and have fights, and then winning fights, and then you the name of the city, and everyone knows who you are, and you earn big money, and you having great feelings all the time. But then when that gets forced away from you to retire, what's hard? It's like
massively.
You've been having these spikes of dopamine. And then it's like, that's never going to happen ever again. Shit, what do I do? What do I do? So what I do?
Where'd you get your kicks from?
So what I did, and what a lot of people do, is start having a few drinks. And that's when I started drinking. When I was coming to retirement. And putting weight on. And then obviously, I mean, you'll know when you have a drink, you feel good and you're happy, and then next day, I feel shit, and you look at your belly and you're like, it's like, you feel even worse. So what do? You back day all night, a few more drinks. And it's really hard to pull yourself out of that. Especially with me, I boxed since the age of 10 years old. I retired when I was 27, and it's like without a real plan B, what to do, and boxing's been your life and your obsession for so long. Like that's gone now. And I remember I announced my retirement on my Facebook page. I was writing a big status about it and thanking people like people do. And then all of a sudden, tears just
broke down crying. I know, been there, haven't I? Do you know what I mean? It's a massive void to fill, isn't it?
It really is.
Because you've dedicated, like you said, it's been your life. So I'm with you, being so obsessive about it. Even more so probably than the vast majority of fighters. Like at 27, after winning an Olympic medal, then, you know, ideally you go on to a decorated, you know, massive pro career, which you were, obviously you were heading through your pro career, you're making your way, and then it's over. Injuries.
That's over.
But that's why it's so great for me to come and talk to you after not seeing you for so long. I love what you've done since. I love it because you're my mate and you're a good friend, but I want other fighters to go, look what he's done since boxing. I really like, I'd love to have something where, you know, ex-fighters or even ex-sports people in general who've dedicated their life to their sport or their craft.
Right.
Because I mean, I was lucky, I learned to trade young. Still go out and earn decent money and something to fall back on. But if you haven't done that, if you've just boxed and never come out of school with good grades, and then when you get to 30 or 30 odd and your career's gone,
Yeah.
it's like you've got maybe 30 years of work and life left in you, of, you know, till retirement age. You need something to fill that long space, don't you?
Now, with boxers, you know, I know how hard you work to be a boxer.
Yeah.
Not just physically, but mentally as well, because it's always on your mind. And you've got to have that discipline to have success. I had success, I had success. And we've known so many people who've had success. Even if they haven't had success, most boxers have worked really bloody hard.
Yeah.
Now, think about this, Joe. If you could put that work ethic from boxing, what we put in, which is ridiculous, hard, into something else, what's going to happen to that thing?
Yeah.
It's just going to bump through the roof.
Yeah.
And that's happened with me.
Yeah.
And a lot of boxers can't seem to do that. I think whether it's because they don't know what that thing is, or the direction they should go in. But if they find that direction and they start grafting and they start working and putting the obsession, the work ethic into that, what they put into boxing, it's only going to go the right way.
Yeah.
Like, example, everything that I've done, I've learned myself now. I'm self-taught, like with the YouTube and the content and the business stuff. It's all self-taught.
Learned on the job, yeah.
And I'm not looking. I'm creating my own look, and I'm watching YouTube videos on how to build business, how to market, how to do sales, how to do this, how to build brand. And I watch them and I learn them and I write notes down, and I'm like, because I want to do it. Yeah. Right. And rather than if you get up at 6 o'clock and go for a run, do this instead. You know? And transferring that work ethic in the direction you want to go is only going to help any former athlete have success. Now, one thing a lot of former boxers get into when they don't have success, some of them do, is boxing for fitness, right? Because boxing is the number one thing in fitness right now. Everyone wants to box. All the celebrities are boxing. Boxing is a great workout for fitness. If you're not getting punched in the head, it's amazing, right? And then a lot of boxers go into this industry and they don't have success, and it's because there were a few things. They're trying to teach a middle-aged lady the same way as their coach taught them. Doesn't work. Right. Of course. You need to learn how to speak to people and learn how to coach them for fitness rather than for fun. And a lot of personal trainers out there are having loads of success teaching boxing, right? Where they're holding the mitts and they might be holding the mitts wrong, right? And then you'll see these boxers who's trying to do like, how the fuck can he coach boxing? He's never boxed a day in his life. And there's negative towards them and have egos, which I did at first when I started teaching, like, how's he earning this much money? And look at the state of their mitts, the crap there. And I'm like, and I'm complaining about them rather than thinking about, well, what's he doing when I'm not doing? And then the learning, you know, then me, I'm saying, right, I'm going to figure this out. So, you know, I start teaching in a different way, learning how to speak to people, learning I can't teach people the way Tommy Brooks or Bobby Rimmer or any of the other coaches taught me. I need to teach them a different way, because they're here for fitness. They don't need it for the perfect jab. And, you know, they don't need it for a perfect hook to the body in the right place.
Don't need tech sessions, do they?
Exactly.
Basically,
And then once former boxers, if former boxers learn this, they'll have a lot more success. And this is what I want to do in the future. I want to help boxers with this. Right now I've got a certification course where we've had the likes of Stephen Smith has done the course and Scott Cardell, and there's been a lot of other former boxers done it and they love it. Boxing for fitness, learning these techniques and they have success. But that right there is the perfect opportunity for any boxer to have success after boxing. It's worked for me, and it can work for anyone else.
Brilliant. That's how. And you know, it'd be lovely to see, and maybe I can be a part of it. I'd love to help you from my end, from Liverpool. To be, I don't know how many fighters who jump at the chance. Jump at the chance.
And now my long-term goal is our licensing company. It's called Boxing Fitness Connect, and So I've done this with Glenn Holmes, and what we've done, we've created classes, group classes for, well, it's the boxing bird classes. We give these to gyms, like this gym here, Bird Box, we're in Bradford. These now we're putting boxing bird classes. These are our award-winning classes that we've done in Los Angeles that we've been perfecting for years. Now we can put these in any gym in the world, right? And the goal is to get in as many gyms as possible with this, obviously. But then what me and Glenn want to do is help former boxers get a career in teaching these boxing fitness classes. So if we can get in, just here, imagine we're in 2,000 gyms in the UK, we've got all of these different locations that we can educate the coaches on how to teach these classes perfect, former boxers. We can educate the former boxers how to teach these classes the right way, and then they can have success, they can build a career in this, and they can learn our methods and the things that's worked for me. So this is what I'm really focusing on, the business, but also I really want to help these former boxers, because what we spoke about earlier on, Joe, they're in bad situations. Someone like, I don't know if Neil Perkins is the example, but someone like Neil Perkins, if he got his foot into this, this could be a new
direction.
New direction for him, a new thingy of life.
Lease of life.
A new lease of life is the word I'm looking for him or for any other boxer, and that could be change their life.
And it's what they know as well. So they can tweak that to suit you, to suit your brand, and they can deliver it.
And they
just need upskilling.
They'll understand how to have success in this industry, and they'll be back in the boxing gym. They'll not be fighting, but they'll build a community. People are like them because people love boxers because they've got this personality, and I really want to help change boxers' lives with our licensing program. But our first step is to build it, get in as many gyms as possible, and then we can start bringing in the former boxers to really help.
Brilliant. So it gives them direction and a goal, because again, we touched on before, but there's a massive void. There's a huge void left after your career. You faced that void at a very young age, 27, through no fault of your own. But you used that as determination to go and do what you're now going to help other fighters do. You want to share that with them, do you know what I mean? Which is great.
When I retired from boxing, Joe, I was devastated. I said, what am I going to do now? I'm not going to do it, and nothing's going to be like, obviously nothing's going to be like winning the Olympic medal, but nothing's going to fill that void.
Void.
And it really didn't, and I guess now it still doesn't, but, and I never thought I would ever say this, but I am so happy that my hands got damaged, and I was I'm so happy.
It's crazy you can say that, isn't it?
I'm not crazy. I don't get punched in the face anymore. I'm actually earning more money now than I was when I come back from the Olympics and to a professional. And it's not all about the money, but my happiness is there. I'm more happy now than ever before. I've got a family now. I'm not getting punched in the head. I'm not getting these concussions. When you mentioned your leg went dodgy before, I've had multiple concussions as well.
That was a hard shot.
So it's like I'm not suffering that anymore. Now I can help people, which I'm doing. Millions of people on YouTube that helping gym owners and former boxers or personal trainers, start a career and give them the things that I've learned over the years to really help them in their life. It's really fulfilling.
Must be so rewarding. Well, rewarding was the word I was going to say. It's the same as fulfilling, isn't it?
Yeah, so rewarding. And the messages that I get often and of people telling us that I've helped change their lives, I've inspired them to stop boxing, or gym owners who's putting this program into their classes, and it's like now our bottom line's improved and we're earning more money, and it's like thanks. And things like this, it's just like, wow, I've done this.
I've done this,
I've done this, and it's really fulfilling. But if I was still boxing, I didn't get damaged, and I was still getting punched in the head.
Because are you 36 now?
37 now.
37 now. You could be, at the end of your career now, and if you hadn't got to the very, very top, that's the only place you're going to make the good money, isn't it? And the very top.
At the very top.
You've got to get to the 1%, haven't you? Where you're in the hierarchy of, Belliew's done really well, Callum Smith's done really well. The certain elite fighters, they come out of it. Calzaghe, obviously, life sustaining money, but it's a very, very small percentage, isn't it?
Two hands we can count right now, probably, the people who's done really, really well. Like, there's not that many out of the millions of fighters there is.
Millions of fighters,
who we both know fighters now they've had the career, they've done really well, they've had way more success in boxing than me, and right now they're not doing so good because they have that direction that we're talking about. And that's what I know. I really want to help them with this program down the line.
Brilliant. So it's great to see. Obviously, are you going to be doing this remotely from LA, or are you planning to spend a bit more time in the UK going forward? Or
so my plan now is I'm going to travel the world with my wife and kids.
So that's from now. When you leave here,
when I leave here, I'm going to Rotterdam. Then we're going to go to Amsterdam. Then we've got Italy, and I'm going to travel the world.
Boss. And
I'm in the position to do this through YouTube, helping people out and earn a living from that now. And again, that's what I mean. My life's better now than it was when I was boxing. And travel the world, meet different gym owners, meet different trainers, meet different fighters, and try and help them, give them some value of
the business model,
and help them as much as I can. So I can do it remotely from around the world, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to try it and see what it's like.
It's a great plan, isn't it? It's an exciting plan, isn't it? It must be a very exciting time in your life, 37. And you get to travel the world with your missus and kids in tow, and go and see the world with the kids while they're little, and boxing's allowed you to do that. Hasn't it?
We're doing this, and with this, we're going to be. It's called World Schooling Your Kids, where your kids are going to be learning from different parts of the world, learning from different environments, different cultures. And then with the homeschooling curriculum as well that we've got in place, where they're learning the maths, English, science, we're going to be doing that every day with them, as well as the world schooling, learning from around the world. And I think it's going to be great for them. We never know. We never know how it's going to go. It's very nerve-wracking, exciting.
It's an experiment of some sort.
And so everyone I've spoken to, they've been like, well, if I could do that, I would do that.
Of course. And any parent would.
The hard thing with this is, what I think about it is, the kids is not going to build these relationships with friends in school. Not going to have, like what we've built, friends without you forever. They're not going to have that, but they've got each other. The girls at the similar age, they've got each other. We're going to be taking them to like jiu-jitsu and gymnastics, so they're learning that way as well. So that's hard, and I think the reason why that's so hard is because we're going against the grain. Everything that we've been taught,
it's against the grain, but if you think about it, you're giving your kids the opportunity to meet so many other people from other parts of the world who they might stay friends with forever. It's like the people you may have in school classrooms, and you remember them, you have fond memories, or maybe not so fond memories, but imagine meeting people from all over the world. Good, you can stay in touch. Skype each other. You can probably visit them as they grow up, and do you know what I mean? You can still make good, strong friendships as they go around the world in every location. So it could be a better thing.
It could be better. It's just like I said, the hard thing is it's going against the grain. Everything that we've been brought up with regular schooling, and you've got to go to school, you've got to be in this routine, you've got to do that. It's like, well, when we want to try something else, and all the research that we've done on it, we've just heard, I think, good things. So it's great, and like brilliant. Boxing's given us this opportunity to do that.
Boxing has, which is something you took up very young and really excelled at. I mean, how much stuff from school today, what you learnt in school, do you actually use? I mean, you get the basics of like English, maths, bits and pieces here and there, but I look back on my school years and go, no one ever taught me about building a business, or saving money, or a bit of entrepreneurial. There was never any of that. It was all old-fashioned stuff, what really doesn't really serve me today.
If you think about it now, if I spelled something wrong on my phone and the correct way comes in, so I don't have to spell it. Or you can see a voice note and you don't have to spell things. I'm not saying you don't need to learn how to read and write, but it's just like there's little shortcuts for everything.
Everything's at your fingertips.
It's at your fingertips, and do you really need to learn the things that we learned in school?
The vast majority, no.
Right?
Definitely not.
But there is obviously
there's some use, of course, but
I think school and a lot of the stuff is the wrong stuff for our teachers. Like you said,
fundamentally, just sit down, listen to me, pay attention, don't open your mouth, don't speak, don't be creative, don't have your own opinion.
This is how
just shut up, listen to me.
They teach how to pass a test, right? They do, and but them tests are not going to help you in everyday life. Like you said, you should learn about building a business. How do you pay your taxes?
No.
How do you run a house? How do you get a mortgage? What's mortgage rates mean?
Yeah.
There's all these different things in insurance. What is all these things in life that you don't learn in school? What you should really be learning? I believe.
Yeah, you're right. I fully agree with you. It's a big thing, isn't it? But I mean, I'm sure as you venture around the world with you know your missus and your kids, I'm sure you'll make it work. You learn on the job with that, and I'm sure you'll massively excel at that. But I think you'll probably where will you base back to LA eventually?
Maybe we're still not.
But you don't know, do you? You don't know. You won't need to, will you?
That's the exciting thing. It's we'll see what happens and see what.
Because you see, she's from Sunderland, your missus, isn't she?
Yeah, from Sunderland.
Sarah's Sunderland as well. So I'd assume that before long you probably be second Sunderland, maybe. Do you think?
No.
Don't you think so? I just thought we both be Sunderland, you know.
We're from here. Our families live here. Our brothers live in Australia.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever see myself.
You're pretty spoiled, haven't you?
But to here, and the big thing is, Joe, it's like the weather.
Yeah.
This trip I've been in Sunderland, the skies have been grey. I know it's the winter. The skies have been grey. It's been getting dark at 3:45 p.m.
Yeah.
It's not been getting light till 8:30 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And you wake up and it's dark and it's miserable and it's
affects your mood, doesn't it?
Affects your mood, affects your motivation.
Yeah.
Like in LA, the sun's shining at 6:30 at night.
Yeah.
And I might be driving home from the gym. I'm like, yes, I can't wake up. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And you've got the energy. But now I'm driving home. It's like 3:30, and I'm like, I just want to go and watch a telly.
Put my pyjamas on. That's what we do, me and Josie. We're guilty of that.
Get a couple of packets of crisps and watch this. It's a 9-0-0.
Do you drink them? Them alcohol-free ones, yeah. I had a couple of them, yeah.
But it's like so the sun has a big effect on your life. I didn't realise this until I was not in the sun.
Out there, yeah.
And so I wouldn't move back to this country for that reason.
Good. And you've got that choice to not do that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And another thing with living here as well, and I'm not going to shit on it.
No.
Is mindset in Los Angeles. You can do anything. You feel like you can do anything. People's there supporting you. It's like, you're going to build the biggest box of fitness company in the world. Nice.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? Well, why did you try this? But here, like, I'm afraid to even say that because it's like,
fuck off.
I think it is. Yeah. Like with the
that's mad, that, isn't it?
With the video content as well. I've got a feeling that there's so many people in Sunderland, in England, that wants to do videos, that wants to do podcasts like this, that wants to build a brand on social media, but they're so afraid of what people will think.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. It's ego, isn't it? It's wrapped up in ego, that.
Yeah.
So if you I mean, because everyone's got an ego of some, and I've been really guilty of it in the past, not being too concerned what people think or how they view me. But I am at a stage in my life now where I literally do not give a fuck. And honestly, I'm at a place where my ego's that humble.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say, how I look, what they think about me, what their opinion is, because I'm okay with me, and I'm happy to be alive, and I've got a good relationship, and my kids are healthy.
Yeah.
You know, them key things are there to be happy, which you've got.
Yeah.
Which you've got. You just go, do you know, as long as I've got them.
So for Peter down the street called you one now. So.
I don't know, but the world now evolves around image, social media, obviously to a good extent, which is what you're doing, which is sharing wellness, health, boxing, the education advice, but it's so shallow as well.
Yeah.
Where, you know, there's pressure from kids, teenagers trying to live up to what he's doing or what he's got, which everyone's had an element of growing up. You'll have done it in school, you'll have wanted what your mates will get, you'll have wanted certain things which we've all done, but now it's massively exacerbated, isn't it? Because kids aren't just looking at who's in the classroom with them or the mates on the street. They're looking at everyone.
Yeah.
So it's being massively.
That's the negative thing about social media.
Yeah.
I think it's affecting people's lives like that.
But education, though. So I educate my kids now. I like that. For instance, our Sonny, prime drinks. He's getting prime drinks like that. He's going, getting the prime drinks, and I want that colour, that colour, that colour. I said, why? When's he going to drink them?
Shit.
He went, no, it's that. Honest to God, he sent me to Asda to buy these prime drinks, and I went there 12 o'clock at night, and I thought he was going to sell them in school, same as you did. So he's got a little tuck shop. He's doing that. I'm trying to give him little entrepreneurial tips and little tips how to make money, so he'll hustle a little bit. But he wants these prime drinks, and I thought it was to sell them on, make a few quid, because people are paying a tenner for them and all that. I said, what do you want them for? He went, I just want them. So you're going to drink them? He went, no. I said, so So you want them to show off then, don't you, on your Snapchat and all that?
Right.
That's all. And he was like, no, Dad, I don't. I just want to have every colour when you want to have them. Like that. I go, I've got this colour. I said, lad, look, why are you interested what other people think about showing you with these drinks? Come on, really? What's it going to give you? And he went, do you know what he means? Nothing. I went, there you go.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just trying to tell him that's your ego at play that. Just trying to show off to people that don't matter which, but everyone's got it.
Yeah, no, we all have. That can be the negative side of the social media. Like if he, like, I mean, look at he's got a year telling them what's what. But if he didn't have you, and then he really, really wants these prizes, which is my brother me, these fine things, and he can't get them. Now he's going to be sad.
That's what I mean.
You know,
just to show off with.
Yeah. Show off with.
Just for not.
It's and like back to what I was talking about with the social media. You know, people do want to get on social media and do things maybe that I'm doing, maybe the podcast of what you're doing, get out there. But the reason why they don't is because to fear what people think. And I've got a prime example of this is when I start building my YouTube channel and start getting revenue. I think, wow. I said to my Mrs. Sarah, you need to do this on education, nursing, because she was a nurse educator in the hospital. I mean, you'd be great. She's never done social media in her life. And she went, no, I'm not doing it. I went, why? It could be really big for us. It could be huge if your channel blows up and she can blow up more than mine. She said, I'm too scared of what people say at work. They've all slacked it off, get me back. Yeah. And I was like, I sing a little red mist, I think. Yeah. Do you know what? If anyone slags you up for this, then fuck that person. You don't want that person in your life. Do you know if anyone gives you a stick, and I'm telling you this is a myth, if anyone gives you a stick, like, look at Joe doing that podcast, trying to get boxer, tar boxes online. He was a former boxer, but whatever they say, like, if someone said about your life, fuck that person. You don't want them anywhere near.
That's what I mean.
Right? So you do it for you. If someone's not there to support you, like,
you don't need them in your life.
You don't need them in your life.
That's it. The people that mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind.
Yes.
That's it, isn't it?
Yes.
The people who like, you know, Tom, I wasn't the best boxer. I wasn't. Maybe I haven't got the credibility.
You be a title, so you were.
Yeah, I wanted to be a title, and I was one below elite level. That's why I say if anyone says well, how good was it, I go, well, elite level is you, Kenny Egan, Neil Perkins, Tony Bellew, James Chunky, the likes of that, Stevens, they're the elite level. I was one below. That's fair to say, isn't it? Yeah. I mixed that elite level, but I never won elite. I never beat anyone. And
so what level were you?
One below elite level.
No, but that's a negative.
It is though.
So what's the positive? What could be positive?
Yeah, I think as a positive way of looking at it was, I was a very good fighter. I'd say very good, but you were excellent. Right. So if you went excellent, very good, fair, down the hierarchy like that.
That's a better way.
Yeah. I was very good.
Excellent, but I was very good.
I beat the vast majority of people, but when I mixed at your level, which was the elite level, Olympic medalists, multiple titles as kids. I never won any junior titles. I lost in one junior ABA final, which I thought I won against Ryan Wall, thought I won that fight, but I won one ABA title. Maybe I had a bit of luck there. David A got knocked out in the other semi-final, didn't he? I was meant to meet him in the final. I was on a collision course with him in '99. Well, before we met, 6 years before, but I was 19, he was 18, and he beat Courtney Fry in the London final, and we were on a collision course for the final. I'm warming up in York Hall, and I'm just getting ready, warming up, sharpening up, and I hear bang, a big thud. I thought, you knocked him out. I'll fight him next. And some fella runs in and goes, Hayes, knocked out there. He got knocked out in round one. Well, no, I was meant to fight Jim Twight, remember him? From Durham, Coventry, sorry. He knocked David out in the semis and then pulled out against me in the final. Wow. He said he was sick. I fought Craig Wake in the final. Remember Craig Wake from Durham? Yeah. He was very good. Yeah. He'd lost to Jim Twight very close in the quarters. He jumped in with me in the final, but I only just managed to beat him as well. Yeah. He was good, him.
It's mad how those really good fighters like him and so many good fighters, and you know what we spoke about is like completely out of boxing now. Yeah. And in the job might be his head job, might be I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. And what I've noticed as well with a lot of boxers that get out of boxing, and I was the same, is they start drinking. Yeah. In a dead end job one night, they'll start drinking, get rid of all their feelings, they go to sleep. Yeah. And the work on paycheck to paycheck.
Cycle. Yeah. Cycle. It's tough though, and it's a big part of what my podcast is about here. You know, I lead a good, happy, positive life now, and you know, me family life's in order. I'm still training hard. I'm relatively fit. but I'm in the minority of ex fighters. You know, I think more go down a downward spiral because they miss that that buzz and that sport, the competitiveness and things like that. There's not much left for them. Do you know what I mean? I want to, you know, educate young kids that have a plan B. Have a plan B and a plan C. So would you recommend that? What would be your advice to youngsters regarding that?
Have a plan B. Never stop learning.
Yeah.
My advice to pro fighters now is start building your brand right now. And I was building my brand while I was amateur. I was the first one on the boxing team in England to have a website, have my own website and all that. Start building a brand from but I wish I did it even more because by now it would have paid off even more. But also, like, think about life after boxing. A lot of people say you can't think about life after boxing because you forget what's in front of you and you're starting. No, mate, think about life after boxing because that could end in a ball break of the hand like it did for me, and you've got nothing to fall back on. So think about that. You've got loads of downtime with boxing, so think about what you could do after. I highly recommend that as well.
Definitely. So that's my, you know, because as a young fighter, I know one give me that advice. If you want track-minded, but my lifestyle was in place to sustain a top level fighting career, and maybe my talent didn't match it and things like that. But I want young fighters to look at you and what you've done and go, we have a plan B and a plan C. It doesn't mean that you're not committed to the goal. You can still have certain things in place, can't you? But there's certain things you've got to minimise doing, which alcohol you've touched on. The alcohol's a big one, isn't it? The biggest maybe.
It's a big one. And you know, like, what we hear fighters like Chris Eubank Jr. who speaks about it, is like, I don't even think about retirement. No, I think you should think about retirement because I think that's the mindset. I don't think about retirement. So you're gonna retire sometime. You should think about retirement. You know, it doesn't mean you think negatively like, I'm gonna lose my next fight. I'm not gonna do very well in my career because I'm thinking about retirement. No, think about retirement. Think about it. Every other industry thinks about retirement. No, so why wouldn't you? So I think you should.
Yeah, definitely. No, we touched on what like, you know, it started drinking alcohol in your formative years. Because I mean, you've stopped completely now.
So that was the thing, was when I retired, it was like, what a lot of fighters would do is they'll sit and have a drink at night. And I was doing the same. I was drinking a bottle of wine probably every night.
And red,
red. I did.
It's too nice, isn't it?
But I was getting the best kind. I was getting the organic ones. So it was like less sugar.
What do you like it? Out of actions.
But then I would have a bag of crisps with it, and then I would feel rough the next day, and it was happening more and more and more. So I quit for a year one time, and I started again, and I just couldn't stop it. And I've got this personality where I'll start drinking, and I'll not stop drinking. You know, I can't go full one. Who goes out for one?
one.
Give me 5. Give me 10. I'm gonna get blooded. So in 2019, I was like, I'm stopping. I'm going to quit for a year, stop for a year, and that's when I started YouTube. And what stopping drinking does, mate, other than, no, it's great for your health, great for your brain. We get a punch in the brain when you keep on being sharp, great for that. But what else it does, it gives you time back. Now, what I mean by that is, just say you have a drink on a Saturday night, right? You only drink once a week on a Saturday, you'll be blooded. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta be lost, and you're fucked for the Sunday, right? Well, now if you don't drink that night, now you've just got that Sunday back. So let's say you do that 4 times a month. You've just got 4 days of your life back.
It's a great way of looking at it, Tom. Great way of looking at it.
Now what are you going to do on that Sunday? Because now you're all rough. Now you can work on your business. Even if it's 2 or 3 hours. Say it's 3 hours a week on a Sunday. Now what's that? That's 12 hours a month. You can work on your side business. But if you want one, if you don't like your job, because you didn't drink. So that's just one little thing there, what it can do to really help you, give you more time back in your life.
So clever, so really clever, and I love it, because honest to God, I mean, not just on your own. I speak to your mother on Facebook, don't I, and she stopped drinking, hasn't she? And I know it's only new, but me and Jodie, my missus, would traditionally, same as you, we'd have a bottle of red wine with our tea once a week. And she's a hairdresser, she works hard as well, but we would then, like occasionally, we'd open another bottle, and then we'd end up having that bottle between us, and then, so we'd have a bottle each, then maybe a bottle between us, then we'd have a few beers, or she'd have a couple of Baileys or something, and we'd end up pissed, and we'd go to bed, and then next day we'd struggle to get the kids to school. Your productivity after the night on the ale is zero. You don't want to do nothing. You just want to, can't wait to get back to bed. You eat shit, you just said you're getting time back by not drinking.
Yeah.
And we've gone like that. She's got a really good hairdressers, and she's got hair extension brand just growing, which is going to do really well with it. I think, honest to God, she's got a really boss product. The two of us have gone right, and I've listened to you, and I love what you said about when you stop drinking, and the big one was the sleep.
Yeah.
And it's only been 3 weeks now. We haven't had a drink at all for. I will not have a drink. We're getting married in May. I might have a glass of champagne on my wedding day as a little treat in Greece, but I might not. And then for the rest of the year, I definitely won't drink.
Right.
But I don't know whether, what would you think that if I had a little drink, that would you think that'd be, if you go teetotal, you've got to be.
Well, my personality is.
Do you ever have a glass of red, ever?
Oh, like my personality is if I have, like I say, if I have one, why have one?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
I'm got in my mind, like if I start having, if I have one, I've fucked up the 3 years.
That's what I'm worried about.
And then I'll just start, I'll have one next, it's only one, I'll have one next weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Yeah.
When I look honeymoon, let's have a bottle.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Did you do that? Did you have a?
No, I never had one. I've not had one for 3 years.
That's what I mean.
But I think that I would.
Yeah.
Right? I don't trust
Yeah,
myself.
I get you.
So
that's where I'm at.
That's why I'm like, no, just be off it.
Just be off it completely.
I've got some champagne. What's it going to do? Have non-alcoholic champagne. That'll do the same.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's how I want to do that, because I've been like that with Jodie going, and she's going, we can have a little glass of champagne at our wedding. I'm going, no, because I know the way I feel now already. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't a big pisser, I wasn't a big drinker, but I already feel well better than I have done for a long time after just 3 weeks, because I've only having like a little drink once a week, and I'm not a big drink, but I've been training hard this year. I've set myself a few little goals. I'm going to do 115 key medicine ball slams straight off.
Nice.
I want to do a 20-minute plank. Know what I mean? Just little things, but they take. You've got to do them consistently to get to that stage.
Yeah.
You've got to keep working on. So they're my little fitness things. But I've said we're not going to drink till May. But I'm like that with my girl going, look, I feel like good already. I don't think I'm going to drink on our wedding day. She's like, okay, well, let's just do that. But speaking to you now, I'm not even going to drink then, because I'm going to go, a teetotal means teetotal.
Yeah.
That means none, doesn't it?
Yeah, it worked for me, and each for their own. Sleep with not drinking. So I used to think, I have this bottle of wine and I'll get to sleep. I guess
Sleep better.
Sleep better. You sleep better on a bottle of wine. Actually, you don't. I track all my sleep. I track my heart rate. I've got me finger yet.
No.
And I don't know if you know this, Joe, but when you have alcohol before bed, or if you have alcohol, it increases your heart rate.
Yeah.
Your resting heart rate. So your resting heart rate goes up. Mine about 15 beats a minute more. So your heart's working more through the night when you're supposed to be resting. So it really affects your sleep.
Yeah.
And it prevents you from having the deep sleep.
REM sleep.
Yeah, the REM sleep. So, but it does help you fall asleep a little bit
At the start.
and then it's
But
like,
the quality,
I need a drink, and you're lying there.
like quality of sleep is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But when you don't drink alcohol after a couple of weeks of not drinking, or maybe a month, or maybe 2 months, but then you start falling asleep, and you're like, wow, when you have deep sleep, and you wake up the next day, and you're like, gosh, you know, wow, yes.
Yeah.
Let's go, and you
So we've been honest, as I said, 3 weeks now. We had a few drinks New Year's Eve, and we were right, that's it, we're done, and we meant it. Do you know, so a little bit of a New Year's resolution, if you will, but one that we're going to stick to.
Yeah.
And we've been waking up going, wow, that's the best sleep I've ever had. Like, and having like loads of dreams, and just waking up like that, bang, you know, fully alive and fully spark, where you're more productive. Your thoughts come quicker, you know, you're more...
No, and you're sharper, you've got more energy, everything. And then another thing what's great now is like, there's non-alcoholic drinks is everywhere now. You can get really good non-alcoholic beers, or I've never had wine snap, but you can if it's full of sugar, but the non-alcoholic beers are great. So if you feel like you need the taste, which I do, I have a non-alcoholic beers, I have a few of them a week.
Yeah, I've had a couple of them.
And I really like it. People think, well, what's the point? The taste shit, but it works for me.
No, but it gives you that sort of placebo effect.
Yeah,
a little bit, where if you're having a beer, you're again, and you can sort of put yourself in that same sort of like happy, tipsy state, but without alcohol, can't you?
And
I can still go out and dance, me. I can dance sober, me, in a club or whatever. And we have a Boston, we have a lovely... Yeah, we have, so I'm not, because I've done it for years when I was boxing, I was with that. We would party in the off season, but in season, I would be on it, and I wouldn't, I'd go out to clubs, I wouldn't drink, I'd still dance, still have a laugh, but me and Jodie, like, we don't need alcohol for no people like need alcohol to to have a laugh or whatever. We have a laugh anyway.
Great.
And we get on and we're always smiling. And the only thing alcohol, we realise that the only thing alcohol does is steal the next day's happiness.
Yeah.
So while you think you're happy for them few hours while you're drinking, why waste the whole next day unhappy? Because that's what it does, it steals happiness, doesn't it?
It definitely does. And I'm not going to lie and say, like, if I go out and have a night out without alcohol, it's better than a night with alcohol, because for me, having a drink and getting that buzz, it's great. It's a good time, really happy and all that. It does rob you next day. So it does feel great, but you know, you can live without that. I've lived without that, and it's really helped me give us more time back. But like I said, it doesn't just rob me of like the Sunday when I was drinking 3 times a week, 4 or 5 times a week. It robbed me all of them mornings. So the time that I gathered was great. And then as well, let's talk about like the money that got saved from that is loads. Because I would be drinking out in LA where you've paid $15, $20 for a cocktail, and I'm getting 10 of them a night, and then just multiple nights. So I'm saving fortunes. But I buy all organic food. I'm a right food snob. So I am. I buy the best of the best quality foods, meats and everything I eat is the best quality. So people are, well, I can't afford that. Well, if you stop drinking that, then maybe you can.
I'm the same, you know, so I listen. I get probably 80% of our food is organic. We go to Marx's and we spend on our food and we enjoy. We cook them for each other and have a nice organic goods, because I know that the food chain is contaminated completely. So that's why I do it, because that's what makes people sick.
It really is.
Too much poison in the food.
I totally believe that.
So you're the same, yeah?
I believe that 100%. And I think the reason why everyone else isn't on this is because of education. We've not been educated. Where I'm from, where you're from, in Surrey, it's like, organic food, why? Why do people go, why would you pay extra for that? It tastes the same.
No, it doesn't.
It does the same, but it's like, it's the same really. No, mate, it's not. And when I first come to back to Sunderland at Christmas, I was like going in Asda, and I'm like, where the fuck's the organic food? And I'm looking for it. And
there's nothing in Aldi and Asda.
Went to Morrison's, and there was 3 people who worked there, and I'm like, Sam, I can't find any organic food or fridge. I'm like, can I ask them? Because I'm feeling a knob. And I was like, I'm well known still in Sunderland. I was like, ask them, I'm going to be here. I went, excuse me, love, any organic, any vegetables? What are you after? I went, like, anything? There's like, well, there's some broccoli down there, this there. I went, it sound. Like, good, didn't recognise us. And I was like, something I'm not dead. And so then I went and got it. And I went around the corner, and it's one of them's called foil Instagram up on it.
They did see me.
Oh, God. But I mean that food is massive
in LA. The vast majority is organic, don't they? There's a lot of organic outlets and eateries, and it's a well bigger thing than it is here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge out there for a reason. For a good reason. And what I'm talking about, the mindset about moving back to Sunderland, it's like when I've been in America, it's really opened me horizons. I've met so many sport people there, learning so much about your health, about biohacking, about what foods to eat, what not to eat, and all that stuff. And it's just, I feel like it's made us a much healthier, better human being, especially in the last couple of years since I stopped drinking than I was before. Because when you drink, that's another thing, I don't give a shit what you eat. You know, when you're drinking, then I'm hungry, I'll eat food or anything.
It's on a kebab, and you're not as present with your kids. Think of how much of a better father you are, because me and her are big one, we adore our kids, I'm sure, as much as you. We're really passionate mum and dad. That day when we were hungover, the kids got left to fend a bit. When I say fend, you know, they get fed and they get the iPads and they get the basics, but I mean the very, very basics. They don't get took to the park and out for fresh air. Don't get me, don't get us. They don't get the best, they our best. They get nowhere near that, and we're aware of that. We went, no, they deserve better, so we're just going to knock on the out completely.
Kids grow so fast. Mine's all young now. The oldest one's 8, and I know in like that. Sure, 16, they've got to be that one beautiful right now. So I want to give them everything, you know.
And boss, I love that. So
with me traveling the world soon, I want to enjoy them while you're young, and that's advice I get off people who's got kids who's grown up now. It's like, enjoy them while you're young, enjoy them while you're young. So many times you've got that, right? And it's like, I'm going to really enjoy them while you're young. Me and my wife, we're going to give them everything that we can, because before we know
Brilliant.
it, we've left home and they don't want to be with the mum and dad. They don't want to go to the shop with your mum and dad.
Yeah.
You know.
It's funny, you know you say that about they don't want to be with you. Our son, he's 12 now, and he's like, he's a big lad, he's getting big now, and he's like, he's starting to get to adolescence, and I'm not that cool anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always remember, like, you saying about they don't want to hang around with you. He'd be lying on the couch with me, and he was about 5. We were watching like the Lorax, I think. You ever seen the Lorax?
Yeah.
It's brilliant to watch. I used to watch it, and I went, fast forward a few years, lad, and you won't lie with me anymore like that. Tony jumped up. I went, Dad, I'll always lie here with you, watch your film. I promise. He really meant it, like, I swear. And I went, promise me, lad. And he went, I promise you. I said, so 18 then, when you're 18, you promise me you'll still lie here and watch your film. And he's going, yeah. I said, 22. So 2 big fellas like, I'm picturing it laughing my head off, knowing that he's going to regret, listen to this. So he means it, he's so sincere. Yeah. I said 22, and he went, 22, Dad, I swear. I'm picturing me and him. So the other week, the little girl, Valentina, she's not my biological child, but she's just like a little dog, you know what I mean? But we're having the same conversation. And I went, she's having the same conversation with her mum on the stairs about watching a film in bed. And I went, Sonny's there. And I went, so will you do that when you're 18 with your mum? And she went, yeah, of course. And Sonny just went, you'll regret that. He just quipped in, you'll regret that, because he remembers it. It's funny, you know, but
it's class.
At kids, it's hard them out to kids.
Yeah.
You have loads of these things with your 3 girls now when you go, and there's things that they say, but you'll never ever forget.
Yeah.
You know what, just stick with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, I think it's in post on Facebook. Yeah, I'm lying there. I've got my daughter on his ear.
I did, yeah.
And I'm looking at her and I'm like, you know, Jessie, I love you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just sitting there, I give her a kiss in the air. I went, you know, I'm going to be there for you forever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, I'm going to detect you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here for you. If you ever need anything in your life, and she's 7 now, I'll be here for you. I love you so much. And she looked at us and she went, yeah. Dad, if you were going to get married, would you rather wear your pajamas or your dressing gown?
That's what I mean. Don't I read that right, and I fully got you, because I know how much you love your kids. You're exactly the same as me, which is the way a dad should be.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Of course you are, and the whole world. When I read that, that's exactly this. So I'm gonna straight away. They just so get that, like how sincere and how much love you're showing. You're in like a proper emotional moment there because you loved them that much. It's just like, put my man here, and she's going.
She's sitting with storms on the floor. Do you want to get married?
If you got married? Oh, it's great. It's possible what you say, isn't it?
Kids are great, and I think it definitely makes you softer.
Yeah, definitely.
Kids definitely make you softer. It's made me softer. But realising how fast they're growing up and how little time we've got with them.
Yeah.
And they are at Sonny's age, and it's not that well.
And you do become that, like, you know, every child will at one point go, oh, God, leave me alone. Like, I went into the Sunday the other week to speak to our Sonny. And he was saying, only for a sec, I need to speak to him for a minute. And as I got close to me, he went, don't hug me in here, don't hug me in here. And I went, what? I said, come here. I just got him away. I said, you're my son, I'll hug you anyway. Yeah. I went, I don't care who's looking. I went, okay, what do you mean in or where in the world? You're my son. And he went, all right. But they all have that stage in life where, you know, they feel they can't show affection or receive affection from even their parents. Yeah. You know, because of other people.
And I'm not there yet. I'm looking forward to getting there.
It'll be there. It'll be there soon. Yeah. Right. So look, let's just digress a little bit. Right, just to go back to boxing again. We forgot about that. Oh yeah, that's sorry.
That's all I tell you.
We're just talking about life, but anyway, it's great. But boxing, right? Going back to early amateur career, who was sort of who was like the best you've come up against in like your early amateur days and things?
You want to see it, didn't you?
No, I know it wasn't me.
I fought Andy Lee.
I didn't know you fought him.
I boxed him in the 4 Nations.
Good him.
I lost to him. It was a close fight. It was something like it was a low scoring fight, something like 6-4.
Yeah, when they had them low scores for ages where they were dead fussy about what was going and what wasn't.
He was really hard.
Dead close, yeah.
Really hard to hit.
Good fight to him.
And so it was a close fight. And then I remember about 6 months later, we went to Ireland and done a training camp with him, and I was sparring with him all the time, and he's a counterpuncher, and he's just weighing and weighing and weighing. So obviously I'm on a counterpuncher. We did four round sparring over like a week, so like 4 twos. And the last sparring session, the last round, I thought, sick of waiting for this coming. I'm chopping, gun. So I rushed in right on, and he just went boom, right in the floor.
Clipped you?
Clipped his right.
Oh, he had a good right tooth.
I dropped to the floor. First and only time I ever got dropped in my life.
Yeah.
Went down, got up, my legs were gone, and spar stopped, and I was concussed bad.
Well, I was a big puncher, wasn't he?
Yeah.
To be fair, good fighter. Good fight.
Thin.
Yeah.
Great fighter. So fought him, and he was the best one then.
Yeah.
When I
he was about the top kid you probably met in the amateurs, even internationally wise, because he was obviously a massively decorated international as well, wasn't he? But he was up, He was up there.
And then when I went in the seniors, I just turned 18, and I'm moving from 75 to 81 kilograms, and I fought the Polish fella, who just won the world bronze medal, and I think it was the same year as Purple did, the world bronze medal, and I just moved up weight. I was weighing about 78 kilo, and I went in, and I got absolutely battered off him. He stopped us on the points rule. Yeah. And that's always how I ever stopped on that points rule. Yeah. And then Egan was really good as well. Oh. Kenny Egan.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. He's very good, wasn't he?
Smart and
clever fighter.
And I couldn't deal with southpaws.
Yeah.
You couldn't deal with southpaws, and he was the better man. Most of the people I lost to was amateur with southpaws, actually.
Yeah, so you had so I mean if you had a pair, wouldn't you, Jim? So because it's that, to gain that experience against good southpaws, you need to be around one a lot, don't you? Because the amount of times you come across southpaws, it's seldom, isn't it? Yeah. But when you get a good southpaw, they're very hard to beat, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. I remember when I fought, because Purples we made.
Yeah.
I mean,
good spars with Neil. I
didn't spar with him that much, because I was 81, he was 69.
Yeah.
But I remember, as we made, and we always been traveling the world together on that, but I fought here, because I'm used to Neil shouting for me. I remember I'm in a clinch with it, and I'm just, do you want to do this? And I looked and I seen Neil like, go on, go on.
Yeah.
I'm like, Purple, you right?
Yeah. I know, because we
he was more young.
Our mates, like, we had the same mutual group of mates, didn't we?
Yeah.
As a boss, you had a great team, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had Chunky to spar with, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, Chunky was sparring with Duke all the time. So he was...
He's not a bad southpaw, is he?
He was good.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Switched up. But yeah,
great Chunky.
We had a great team in 2008 with everyone over there, you know?
Yeah. And I came there just to watch us and support you and join you, didn't I, for the rides, know what I mean?
It was great.
Great, wasn't it?
It was great. Like the bonds that you build through boxing is like nothing else. Like with Big Pricey and Danny Price and Stephen Smith and Frankie and all of the boys in the team, like, I feel even yourself, Joe. I was spent way more time with them than you or most people in boxing. But you've got this special bond with a boxer, your boxing brother, if you like. Yeah. And you can see each other like we have after 10 years, and if we've never been away, like I know I can't see them.
And the great friendships, aren't they? Great friendships, like, lifelong friends.
It's like nothing else. It's hard to explain, especially when we've shared the ring together as well. Yeah. And I think another bond is with the boxer and the coach. Yeah. I think a boxer is most vulnerable just before he goes into a fight. Like you've got them feelings, them emotions, and there's so much going through your head. And the person who you're with and you're putting that trust in is the coach who's in front of you. So you've got this special bond with a coach that I believe is there forever. And you're putting all your trust, all of your health and safeties in the hands of this coach, if you like, even though it's not, it's in you, but you believe it, you believe everything he says. You get in the ring, he's giving you advice and helping you, and you celebrate together. He's the first person you give a hug to after the fight. So the bond with the boxer and the coach is like no other as well. Yeah, would you agree with that?
I get you, Chris Kane, my coach, a very young coach, you know Chris, don't you? But he was an excellent coach. Even I always remember, there was never ever a set in stone way of doing anything. He always had multiple. It was never ever, you've got to do this way. He would also go, you know, do this way. But if that doesn't work, there's always a plan. Not in boxing. It's I mean, it's hit and don't get hit. It doesn't matter how you don't get hit. It doesn't matter how you get out the way of a shot. It hasn't got to be a perfect lay back or a perfect slip. If you get out the way and you land a shot, then it's good.
Yeah.
You never ever drummed into you had to be perfectly to his model. He'd always give you multiple options, but he was a great coach. And when, you know, we grew up together. He was coaching me probably when I was 11, but he was only probably about 19 then, or 20. Yeah. And we went through together. And then I started to do well. Perk will come to the gym when he was about 15. And he quickly got to my level. So we were having great spars. And then I won the ABAs at 19. And Neil won the novices just after. The novice under 10s.
Yeah.
And then I obviously, you know, I had a short stint as a pro, but went back because I had a bad experience. And then I got to 2 more AB finals against yourself and Obed. But Neil went on to for stratospheric success, didn't he? Really? Yeah. I mean, world bronze medal and things like that. So that was, you know, that was from Chris. He was the boxing coach and the boxing man. But we had a great friendship with him. And you know, even to this day, it was mad.
That bond that you build with a coach,
it's like last April. I hadn't seen him for ages, and it was the 23rd anniversary of me winning the ABAs in '99. It was 23 years ago, last April the 23rd, right? And I walked around the Wetherspoons by ours to get something. Can't remember what for, to see if the match was on, something like that. And I bumped right to the Chris, and it was mad. I hadn't seen him for a few months, and it goes, what day is it? What day is it today? And he was going, I don't know. What do you mean? I said, it's 23 years ago today that we won the ABAs. And he went, wow, you can believe it. Give me a big hug. Yeah. Like filled up a little bit, but it was dead emotional, do you know what I mean? So it's that bond you have. And
it's big for the coach.
It's big for him, yeah.
It's five in the ABAs.
Well, that's it, because that was our first ever from the club, same as yourself. And then Perko went on and won 2. Right. He won 2, didn't he? And then
he won 2, right?
He won 2 ABAs. Oh. Yeah. That's a pull out. In his first one, he went in. He beat good kids in the first. He'd only had about 12, 13 fights. He was beating like, you know, decorated kids who won schoolboy titles and things. And then he come up against Stephen Swales.
Oh yeah.
Swales, he beat him in 2001. Might have even been 2000. Might have been 2000. But then the next year, no, it was 2000. Yeah. Swales, he beat him. Swales, he was obviously very, very good. And then 2001, he was on a collision course with Carl Froch to meet Carl Froch in the semis, and injured his back badly in the quarters, which he won, but had to pull out against Carl in the 01 semis, but then won it in 2002 and 2003, I think. Right. He's very good, wasn't he?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been so many fighters, you know, but not as good as Neil. It's a very special achievement, you know, we've won the World Championships and win the medal.
Win the medal.
It's very, very, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
So to do that, you know, it sticks with them forever. And I remember Terry Edwards, the boxer coach, said to us, like, if you qualify for the Olympics, your life will never be the same again.
Yeah.
This was a year before the Olympics, so time we were young.
Yeah.
So I didn't. And up until 2008, the previous 8 years, there's only been 3 lads qualified for the Olympics. Do you know who they all are?
Yeah, of course, yeah. It was, I'll tell you who it was now, one sec. Past 8 years, so we're talking 2000, yeah. Khan was 2000, wasn't he?
2004.
And 2004, I know the two of them, but I'm going to put me on the spot here. Who was the two in 2004?
What's been on this podcast?
What?
One of them's been on your podcast.
No, Courtney was early. Courtney was 96, sorry.
Courtney was 2000.
Courtney was 2000. Hang on, Courtney was 2000. Yeah, so you're on about Courtney.
So Courtney went at 2000.
Courtney was 2000 with
Audley.
With Audley and
Amir.
And Amir.
In 2004.
Sorry, yeah, so Courtney and Amir. But Amir was on his own 2004, wasn't he? So Courtney and Audley, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So up until 2008, there's only been 3 fighters qualified, Ollie Howson and Amir Khan, qualified for the Olympics in the previous 8
years, and then you all.
So for us to be like, it's a hard task, a hard job to get there. Yeah. From all the fighters in Great Britain, only 3 in 8 years to go. Yeah. And when Terry was like, if you go there, it'll change your life. It's like something in the back of my head, especially me when we're competing. I might not even go. And it, by God, was you right? Go to the Olympics, and obviously I come back with the medal, which was even more changing my life. But my life has never been the same ever since.
So he was so right, wasn't he?
And he was so right with that. And you know, and talking about Neil and his world bronze medal. Yeah. No, potentially, I mean, it's not like the Olympics or
Yeah.
but like
It's as hard to win though, isn't it?
it's no, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's as hard to win. Yeah.
Could be, if not harder to win. No, but it's. Yeah, well, I wish, I don't want to keep talking about Neil, but if he could have went a different direction in life.
I know.
Yeah, that there he's got something what hardly anyone in the world's got.
Yeah.
A world bronze medal, and it could be used, you know, to promote yourself, to build business and all of that.
Yeah.
It's just.
This is the thing, as well. I mean, I think, as I say, when you get to the levels, you know, of success Neil reached, and them things eat you up as well. You know, he has regrets. You know, I know that he's like, you know, not in a good place, but he knows that he should have turned pro at a certain time and not kind of say, no, stayed amateur too long and turn pro on the back of that Olympic medal, world medal.
Right.
That was when his stock was at its highest.
But he knows that now, but at the time he went on £2,000 a month funding, the top funding, which is a lot of money, tax-free plus expenses.
Of course, yeah.
And then if he went to the Olympics, he would come back, which he was on track to do, go to the Olympics and come back with more success. But it was Billy Joe's son has got his...
Billy Joe, but Neil lost a bit of his spark at 69, I think. I think he, whilst at middle, it was him and Chunky vying for the spot. And Chunky obviously went in one goal, so someone had to give. So Neil went down to 69. I think he lost his power.
Right, yeah.
He lost power, but as I say, his lifestyle had been in place for several years by then. You know, by the time them Olympics come around, 2008, he was what? So 2008 would he have been? What would he have been? 2008, age-wise, he was in mid-20s, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah, I know he was the oldest.
Sorry, 89, 99. Sorry, yeah, he would have been about 27 or 28 by the time the Olympics go around. That's right, because he was born 79. He would have been 30 in 2009.
Right.
So he would have been like 29ish when the Olympics come around.
I always say that's old. no.
It seems old, but it just at
the time it was old for the age. But I mean, so that's the thing with boxing. A lot of people have regrets because I should have done this, then I should have done that.
Yeah. Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
It really is. And like, if I won the Commonwealth Games in 2006, where I went there, I got beaten in the quarters. But if I went there and won that, maybe I would have turned pro. And I would have turned pro and I would have not as good, and then I wouldn't win the Olympics, then everything. So it's like,
it's a path, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a path
you take, and I think it's. I think there's a little bit of luck involved in boxing, but what I like to see in life is you make your own luck. You know, Nigel, I used to always think I was a bit lucky to win the Olympic medal, right? And one day I got introduced to someone in Santa Monica. It was a little Irish fella, in a bar there, and he had a big long leather jacket, and he had a scar on his face, and he looked like a gangster. And someone said, "Oh, this is Tony. He won the Olympics in boxing." "Oh, really?" And he we started talking. I went, "Oh yeah, man." He said, "You won a medal?" I went, "Yeah." I went, "Yeah, I was lucky." We went, "Don't say that."
I don't think you was. No chance.
He went, "Don't say that." I went, "Oh, right." And he was a big investor. I went, "How were you lucky?" I went, "Well, you know, when I went there, I had a cracked rib. I got a walk over through the first fight, and you know, and then I could have fought the champion my first fight in there, and I wouldn't have won the medal." And he went, "How did you get the Olympics?" I said, "Well, I was the champion of England, and you know, and I qualified." I said, "I qualified." He went, "How did you qualify?" I went, "Well, when the World Championships got placed and all that." And he went, "How did you get there?" I went, "I was the number one boxer in the country." And I was thinking, "Where's he gone with this?" And he went, "Well, how did you get there? How were you the number one boxer in the country?" I went, "So I went to the gym, I worked my arse off." I went, "Exactly.
That's it.
That's how you won the Olympic medal.
That's it.
No luck. No luck involved. You created your own luck and you got there. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't have got that. So never say you're lucky."
Wise man.
Very, very wise man. And I was like, wow. Good point. That. And now I think that about everything in life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everything in life, you create your own luck. You create your own luck, and things that I've done in Los Angeles, mate, like I was the face of Levi's billboards in LA, in New York City, in Times Square. I was everywhere through for Levi's. Look at me. And
that's all part of that.
And I didn't think I was lucky. It's because I went to someone told us about this audition. I went there, and then I went to it, and I ended up getting it, whatever. And it wasn't luck, it was because I seen that opportunity, I went and I took it.
You took
but
it, you
other
went
people
for it.
would have been like, "That's not bad,
I'm not good enough for that."
And then from Levi's, because of that Levi's commercial, because of Levi's, I was on a commercial on the trailers before in the cinemas. Some fella was in there who come to the gym. He was like, "Oh, what's that? That from the gym? Come to the gym, mate. I seen you on the Levi's commercial." I went, "Oh, nice." He went, do you do TV? And I went, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Never done TV.
Yeah. Still loads.
yeah. And then he went, I've just wrote a show called The Blacklist. It's on NBC. He says, "I've got a great partner for you if you want it."
Wow.
Oh yeah, nice. So 2 weeks later, I'm in New York City, fucking acting.
Wow.
I've acted in my life.
Yeah.
On this massive TV program. You heard of Blacklist, haven't you?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's like 6 seasons now on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I've done 2 episodes that, and I'm acting.
I want to watch it now.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Please.
Yeah. So you've done a couple of episodes?
I mean, I've done 2 episodes in season 1. Just did small little parts where I'm a thug and I get killed off. But it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And just because I went to that Levi's audition,
Yeah.
it's brought all this other stuff on.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have done Levi's audition if it wasn't in LA. Why wasn't it in LA?
Yeah, from your boxing medal and your career. And it's all,
it all
it's a journey.
Through, so, you know, but even throughout your journey, that Levi's thing's not because of the Olympic medal, it's because of when the audition, it's because there was an opportunity came up and I took it with both hands.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, if I see any opportunity, I will grab it and I'll pull it and I'll try it. And a lot of them will not work out.
Yeah.
But the ones that do, it's like, wow, he's a lucky bastard. Look at that lucky bastard there. Got a fucking Levi's thing. You got a lucky bastard. No, it's because you see an opportunity, you take it with both hands.
And you give it 100%.
And you give it.
That's drive and work ethic, which leading on to, you know, I mean, so it's great because, you know, I love having a chat with you because I look at you and I go, to go from the success story and then to go to where you were in a bad place because your career ended prematurely. But you've capitalised on it in a big way, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to like youngsters, young fighters? We touched on a little bit before, but just if you, based on how to go about your boxing career, but then if you could give like 3 little pearls of wisdom for boxing career, maybe business, and maybe, you know, keeping your eye on at the end of your career and being aware, what would you give 3 little tips?
I would say if you're a boxer, no matter what level you're at, start using social media to build a brand. And with social media, it's important that you use it rather than letting that use you, which so many people do now. They're on the phone and they're scrolling, just looking at other people's stuff over and over again, wasting so much time on social media where you could be using this on your phone. This is your own media platform right here to build a brand, to build a reputation, to build a company, to build a business while you're training, while you're doing stuff. And you might think, well, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start. Learn. Look at what other people's doing. Watch YouTube videos on how to build brand. Do that. And that just doesn't go just for boxing, it goes for any career. Like you in this podcast, build a brand. Get these videos out, get the nuggets everywhere. And that'll really help, you know, with that. So that would be the boxing one. Then for the businesses, what you mentioned is think about what to do after boxing. Think about different ways of earning revenue. What can you do that, you know, maybe if I've built the following, how can you monetize that? What things can you do to help people that they can pay you for? You know, and that'll help you right there in everyday life.
Add value too, Busy, you know.
Add value. I think that them 2 things, I'm seeing them 2 things because that's what I've done and it's really worked for me. It's changed my life and I think it can change anyone's life. And my biggest regret, I mean I have many regrets, is when I was fighting and when I was training, was not using this more, not building brand, talking about my training camps and talking about how I did things, because I would be
massive head start. Massive head start.
Now if I started that then, you know, if I knew what I knew now, what's the say? If I knew then what I know now.
Hindsight.
Mate.
Would you advise young fighters? I know it's hard, peer pressure, growing up, etc. You know, we've all faced it. We've all faced people. Come on, have a drink. But would you? I mean, this is a hard one because all kids have got to find their own way. But would you if you say to a young fighter, look, he says about boxing, I know this is because I say it to our sonny, and I go, do you know what, lads? I'd like you to never ever drink.
Right.
Which is that unrealistic? Is it a bit unrealistic? Have they got to make their own mistakes with it and go, do you know what? That's not for me. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When it comes to stuff like that, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because we know, and we know people
Because we've lived it. Because we've lived it.
Yeah, we've lived it, and we also know people that's, oh, I'm only having a drink. Oh, he's doing all his mates, but then next thing, I have a line of coke. Next thing, I have a line of coke.
Hand in hand.
On the coke.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, then fuck the boxing. I'm going to have mates have coke.
Do you know what I mean?
And after, you know that, I know that this happens all the time, but kids think, oh, it'll never happen to me. It'll never happen to me. Nah, a few beers just turn a line of coke. Well,
it can.
And I know so many people that's done it. I know you know the same.
Yeah.
So many people that's done it. And next thing, they're on this downward spiral. The boxing fees went out the window, and he holds it. And that started by having a drink.
Starting drinking. So I know it's unrealistic to ask, but would you? Yeah, we're talking about young fighters here.
Yeah.
For me, for young fighters, I'd say don't ever drink even one.
Yeah.
If you can. If you can avoid drinking completely, look, you're 3 years sober completely. Not that you was a pisshead, but you're 3 years completely sober, and you've said, which is a big statement. It's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah.
If a young fighter's got talent and he's got work ethic and he's got, you know, you go to the gym, he goes to the gym all the time, and he never ever drinks.
Yeah.
Imagine what that's going to be for his life down the line. If he's going to go where, any chance of getting to the top level is going to be massively improved by never ever drinking, isn't it?
Well, if you look at who was the greatest fighter of all time, Floyd Mayweather, never drinks.
Never.
Doesn't drink. You know. Maybe that's got something to do with it. And you know, what I believe is like, if a young fighter can think about maybe this like that, right? Think about this is, if you know, we go to the gym to train to get better. We always want to get better. If, let's just say, for example, you sort your nutrition out, that helps you train 2% better. Then you don't drink. That helps you 1% better, 2%. Just say 2% better as well. And let's say now you're not drinking, you're getting a better sleep, or you focus on your sleep. That's another 2% better there. Now you're training in. Now you do a better warm. You educate yourself how to warm up quickly to get the most out of training. That's another 2% better there. So you've just got a better 8%.
Positive upward cycle. Positive
8%.
upward cycle.
How big is 8%? And it's these little percentages here and there, these little things here and there that improve you so much that set you the difference between the guy next to you. You might be here, but because you're doing these little things, now you're getting there. Now rather than, you know, it being a 50-50 fight, now it might be a 55-45
Gives you the edge. Gives you that little edge, which is win or lose sometimes.
Now if you really, really want it, you'll do this, you know. And I get like the likes of Ricky Hatton our time, even we had drinks after the fight, and we did drink. We did it, so it was all right for him. But imagine if we didn't. Imagine if Ricky Hatton didn't drink, we didn't blow up and down. What if you beat Floyd Mayweather? What if you beat Manny Pacquiao?
He could have done. I think he could have done, you. I think he could have beaten them both.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, he was in both. Well, not in both fights. He wasn't in a fight with Manny Pacquiao, but he was in that fight with Mayweather. I thought.
If the referee let him work inside.
Yeah, he was in that fight.
So, but if Ricky Hatton didn't drink, it didn't blow up in between fights. Maybe he would have won that fight against Floyd. Imagine that. And then he would be the greatest fighter of all time. But obviously we never know. So it's kind of up in the fight really. If you picture the perfect athlete, if you picture the perfect fighter, they're not drinking on that. They're not.
Yeah. I always. Tony Bellew never ever lived that life. He never ever lived a drinking life ever, as far as I know. I remember him as a kid, like working on the clubs on the door of it, but as far as I know, he stayed away. I remember seeing him walking out of but he was very good, as you know. He was on squad with you, and he was mate of ours, and look what he achieved. Well done to him. But I always remember him leaving at he was out with all the Everton crew on Liverpool 1. I just bumped right into him in his suit. I said, what's that? He was like, the Everton leaving too. And he was just walking home sober on his own about 10 o'clock. And we were all the Everton team. He hadn't got to the very top then. I think he was still light heavy. But I always remember it. I thought, wow, I don't think he had a fight coming. I don't think he was in season. He was just sober and he left the party early, which is
hard to do.
Hard to do. So, you know, if you're like, you want to impress all these people who are obviously maybe well famous and wealthy and blah blah blah, and they're all drinking, so you want to be in with their little mix. But that one-sack mind, so few fighters will have that or retain that or keep on that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
and that might be a value 1% better, and it might be that 1% that help them beat David here. You know,
that's it.
You never know, but if you had the choice of one or the other, you want to pick that one, right?
Yeah, so that's the advice I'd definitely give kids, and I know you will, which is great. What's the plan moving forward now? Because I just spoke before, you're in the UK now, and you're going to travel the world with the kids. Are you, with the brand, it is going to be Box and Burn, or?
No, so the brand's changed. It's more under my name now.
Yeah.
Under like the Tony Jeffries banner, if you like.
Okay.
The Boxing Fitness Academy by Tony Jeffries. This is where we teach.
Is that, yeah.
This is where we teach personal trainers, former boxers, anyone who wants to learn how to teach boxing for fitness. We teach them that through the Boxing Fitness Academy.
Yeah.
And then we've got Boxing Fitness Connect, where we put in our Box and Burn classes into gyms or other classes as well.
Yeah.
Where we want to help gym owners
deliver that service.
Deliver the service as a turnkey solution for any gym in the world to be able to add boxing. And now we're in Bradford in this beautiful Box gym, which is great. So
is this one of your first venues?
It's the first venue in all of the UK
to have
Box and Burn.
Wow.
In the UK.
Feel honoured. Feel honoured for you, yeah.
Yeah, it's been shooters in the class this morning.
I would have.
Yeah, I never thought.
I would have done it.
Yeah.
Can we do it after this? Come on. Yeah.
So yeah, Bird Box Gym, if you're in Bradford, people will come here and do the Box and Burn class here. And then we're also in Australia, in Rotterdam, obviously Los Angeles, around America.
So have you had the likes of even an old friend of ours maybe, who thought, you know what, I'm going to deliver this in anywhere, Liverpool, Birmingham, London? How would unless they've got you on whatever social media, would they need to go to any website or just contact you direct, or?
TonyJeffries.com/connect, and you get details about this on there, and then Glenn Owens, my partner, can reach out and do a demo, and then if it gets going,
if it's viable,
speak to me, and then see if it works for the gym, see if it works for us, because some might not be a good match.
Yeah, because it's got to work.
Our number one goal with this is not just to put classes into a gym, it's to put classes into a gym and to make sure that gym has success. Because if not, it's just trying to get money off people. We wanted to have success. Brand names.
Mutual thing, yeah.
So hopefully we can help as many people as possible, and then that's when our boxing fitness education can help former boxers get into this space as well. But a big thing is, like, you don't have to have been a boxer to be able to teach boxing for fitness.
No.
You need to understand it.
Yeah.
You need to understand how to speak to people, how to teach them from the ground up. So if they make a mistake, you give them confidence to come back and do it again and again. Because we're in this to help people.
Yeah.
So our Boxing Fitness Academy helps educate people the correct way of teaching people boxing for fitness. And we've certified now over 3,000 people from around the world who've done our course. And now then people have helped thousands of other people. And it's just, it's a great fulfilling feeling for me to be part of this journey with so many people. And as well, these trainers who's doing our Boxing Fitness Academy are starting their own businesses, starting their own gyms, and people who's in dead-end jobs, like office jobs, and they're getting out of it and they're starting their own gym. It's giving them the confidence and the education they need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So, it's great.
So it's a well-being that, you've created just in general for people's health. People's general health. And so it can be it's a blueprint for, boxing orientated, but it's all evolved around health, but it's boxing, health, wellness. Do you bolt on any other stuff as part of the course,
Yeah. So through the course we could talk about how to build relationships, how to retain clients, how to use social media to build a brand to really help excel you. Because during your honest, you will be the best trainer in the world. You will be have the best gym in the world, the best looking gym. But if no one knows about it, what's the point? Yeah. You're never going to be able to grow. You're never going to get clients. You're never going to be able to help people what you say how to do. So we teach people how to build brand and what to post on social media to really, to grow and excel. Yeah. That's a big thing. And brilliant. Our mission and our goal is to make the world a healthier place through boxing. Brilliant. And right now, educating over 10 million people a month just on YouTube.
Wow, 10 million people.
3 million of them is in my Spanish channel. Yeah. So right now I've got an English channel. I've got my videos getting dubbed in Spanish, in Hindi. And over the Christmas holidays, this obsession that I'm talking about that I've got, I've just went further and I've hired someone to do it in Arabic, in Portuguese, in Thai, in French, in Russian, and in Mandarin.
Wow.
So now these 6 new languages to go with me: Hindi and Spanish, then English. Now now I've got 9 different YouTube channels.
Yeah.
With all my videos getting dubbed, someone talking with the top of my voice.
Yeah.
So now I can help more people.
Wow.
See, Joe,
it's amazing.
There's only if you Google if you Google the percentage of the world that can speak English, it's only around 25%.
Yeah.
So that means 75% of the people I can't help because I can't speak their language.
Yeah.
So now I'm hiring teams to be able to do that. Now and help one of them people, and hopefully I can help the gym owners and the personal trainers.
Wow.
And all the boxers from all of these countries around the world are really,
incredible
to do this. And I'm at the point in my life now where I've had success where if I say I want to do something, like I don't get any shit and people don't believe us.
Yeah.
Like if in Sunderland, like 10 years ago, I was like, I want to build the biggest boxing fitness company in the world, the biggest banner. People are like, shut up, dickhead.
Yeah.
But now people believe us because they see.
But they never said to your face.
No.
I get you, no naysayers.
Yeah.
And honest, so it's great what you've achieved so far, but I'm still excited to see the plan as it plays out.
That's another thing as well with living in America, in Los Angeles as well. Like now I'm 37, I'm about to turn 38. It's like people out there are just figuring out what they want to do.
Yeah. Some
people in where we're from might be thinking, well, I've chose this path of life, this is it, I'm talking to them, might be our age, Joe, and they might be like, this is it, like, this is my life.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're still young.
Don't accept it.
You can do what you want to do, and the world is your oyster. If you want to, if you get the balls to be able to start posting on social media, if that's what you want to do, if you want to start a new business, if you want a side hustle, like I said, everything we've spoken on this podcast, it kind of links together. Like, I'll work a full-time job. I haven't got time to build this business. Well, if you didn't have that drink on Saturday night and then Sunday morning, you use them 3 hours to start building your brand.
What a way to analogize it. It comes down to sacrifice and also that desire. If you want to improve yourself, then you've got to sacrifice certain things.
Yeah.
Then give yourself. If you haven't got time, make more time.
Yeah.
Get up earlier. If you're having a drink, maybe stop drinking. Then you'll gain that day back. Right. What you lose usually.
Exactly.
It's like even little lifestyles.
Yeah, and the people who, if you really want it, you can do it. If you don't really want it, you'll make an excuse why you can't do it. Oh, well, I need me drink on a Saturday night. I've been work when you don't really want it enough. Well, keep continuing to do what you're doing. Because if you need that drink, which is going to prevent you from doing the Sunday morning 3 hours, I have time to do this. Well, stop watching your Netflix and then get up earlier and use them 2 hours before. There is a way. There is a way in life to be able to do what you want to do. You've just got to want it enough, and I really believe that. Obsess over it a little bit to get there.
Work hard for it.
You've got to put the work in. Yeah.
So it's brilliant advice. Brilliant advice. I think have we covered everything?
Probably not, mate.
How much longer have we got? We've covered. I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah, covered a lot.
And
it's been good. It's been good.
Brilliant. So listen. First of all, I'm made up to see you because I haven't seen you for years. But I'm made up. You're so happy. It actually you exude happiness. Yeah. You can see it in you. You just look happy. You just look like happy, healthy, and that's all part of. It's a byproduct of the hard work you've put in. And the way you live in your life, isn't it?
So you've told me you're in this great relationship with Tony, and it's made your life.
Your best mate, honest to God, yeah.
And I think that's a big important thing in life is the partner that you choose to be with, because you're spending so much time and energy with them. If you've got someone who is putting you down, supporting you, who you're arguing with, and life's too short. If you can find that perfect partner, that's a huge thing.
Which is so hard, Tom. It's so hard these days. And look, you found Sarah young, and you're so lucky that both of you, best mates, 3 kids together. So my life's been chaos from the start until 3 years ago when Jodie just brought me back down to peace. And I mean peace though. I've never had peace. I look back and I go, my life's been chaos, drama, and God, it's toxic and horrible.
How nice your life is now, and that comes down to fact.
So I appreciate it so much. And I gotta say, your home life is key to everything. It's key to literally, I used to, in my previous relationships, I'd go home from a good day at work And then within half an hour, be on the back foot feeling bad and think, I want to go back out somewhere, go to the gym, I want to get away from this.
Right.
I never ever found that person who just loved me for me and understood me and just got me and like, you know, like she just thinks I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I'm doing nothing extraordinary. I just work hard. I'm good to her and I'm good to the kids.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't got much. I'm not wealthy. I'm, you know what I mean? But she just goes, you're the best man in the whole world. She means it.
Right.
And we're going to get married and we're happy. But it's very rare to find, isn't it? I mean, I think there's a little bit of a thing now where, you know, a lot of women don't really know when they got a good man, or maybe I'm not being like chauvinistic here, but you know what, a good man's got to be good and compete with like people who have got more maybe financially, or I don't know, but I don't think years ago it was like the man went to worked hard, or the woman looked after the kids, and they knew there was a little bit of hierarchy. I think now it's massively out of balance.
Right. Yeah.
Because women earn more now, and you know what I mean? Women earn more, so they can like be, well, I haven't got to do that. And there's a little bit of, but with me and her, she earns her own money, works hard, I earn, and like, we go for a meal, and you paid last week.
Right.
It's just like, there's no, we just look after each other.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Just great balance, you know what I mean?
Once you spend so much time with your partner, and you want that your time to be great, because the ultimate goal of life is happiness.
Happiness, which is what you've got.
If you're in a like a poisoned relationship where you don't like your partner and you can't get on with them, and I know lots of people like this and argue all the time, and it's like, oh, sleep at my mum's tonight, or I'll do it. It's like, come on, mate, sort this shit out, because
I know
you're gonna be dead soon. Fact is, you're gonna be dead soon. You're gonna be dead soon. So
there it is.
Try and figure this shit out right now. And I mean, I know it's tough. So people's got kids, and it's like, I've got kids with this person. But if you're arguing in front of the kids, it's better that you're apart.
You know, I've had it, haven't I? I've had it a few times. Do you know what I mean?
Finding that, and I believe as well that there is a perfect partner out there for everyone.
Yes, it's fine.
8 billion people in the world. There is someone out there for you.
People haven't got the balls to go, this is not for me, I'm gone. They haven't got the balls to go, I'm gonna go find what I deserve, which I did. Right. I did, and I've done it more than once. But I'm not ashamed that I did. You know why? I knew I wasn't getting what I deserved. Right. I knew I would appreciate it, so I was thinking, no, I'm not settling for that. And you know what? If I wouldn't have done, I wouldn't be where I am now. Right. Yeah. I wouldn't have what I've got now. Yeah. And I mean, like, all we do is laugh and peace. We have little tiny bickers, like little, I mean, 99% perfect. And we have a little bicker occasionally, which everyone does. Nobody lose my temper. She just looks at me and goes, Joe, calm down. She goes, I'm only standing here. She brings me down from like 100 to 0, just in seconds, and I just calm straight down. And then she goes, honestly, just talk now. The kid's here. Like, pack it in. She puts me in place, and I go, all right. And then with her, because I respect her, and I know she really loves me, I'll just go. And I know even an argument in the past, so I'll kind of argue for a week if you want, 2 weeks. Right. I'm the most stubborn person in the world. I go, because I didn't feel I was appreciated and valued anyway, I just go like that. I just go, Sam, apologies. You apologise when you're ready. Yeah. With her, I'll just go and apologise after a few minutes because she'll be busy, you know what I mean? Yeah. Good place to be in it.
Well, classmate, best.
It's like,
I've been a vlog, so got Joey in school.
That's what you were doing there.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast here.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. What a handsome chap this guy is. Look at him.
Well, I think that's being said, so.
I think before we boxed, his nose used to be like normal.
Wait. Hey, you don't take the credit for that. Mick Whitty done that in 99. Hey, it was well ready. I'll tell you what, though, so that fight of ours, I fucking didn't enjoy it. I was probably imagining it was a. I don't know whether you and Stephen Smith had conspired against me, but he went to me, Jeff, he'll come out and he'll box on the back foot, he'll go back, and I thought, fucking hell, all right, so I'm gonna have to go after him here. Fucking come out, bang! First round. I remember you hit me with a shot in the first round, I don't know what it was, but you know when you get buzzed in a fight, right, and you hurt, I couldn't get my head together. I'm not saying I would do it, you were well better than me, but I couldn't get my head together for the rest of it. For you proper hurt me in round one, big puncher. Yeah. And then round one, I got hurt, and then I stayed in the fight to an extent till the whistle went. He like beat me on the 15-point rule or whatever. But that last shot, oh wow, I think that's, you know what? In all the fights I've had, I think that's the hardest punch I've took, honestly. Because I mean, I've been down, I've been hit with shots that have put me down, but I've sort of I felt the shot and thought, well, I'm hurt here, and I've took a knee, but consciously.
Right.
I've took a knee knowing I'm hurt here, because I had that in me to go, I'll just take a knee or a body shot.
Yeah.
But I've never ever quit. I've always, like, if I can get up, I've always got up. Never ever got knocked out or whatever like that in a fight, but that shot, like I said, it must have scrambled my brain that much that it stuck my leg to the canvas, but I thought it stuck it, but it bounced it. Wow. So I think it's the hardest punch I ever took with a few.
It's common.
It was a good shot. Thankfully, I've still got most of my wits about me, you know, I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I boxed on my skin that day as well.
No, you boxed great games. So, you know what? You know, you won the ABA's great feeling, and I'm glad that I won it once, because I know the feel. It was I remember coming home to my mum. My mum wouldn't watch me fight, and she was waiting in the pub on Malton Road, and I got home to her and she gave me a big hug. I won it, so that was a great feeling, bossing it. But so look, listen, I just to wrap up. Look, honestly, I mean, I know you're a very, very busy lad, and I really appreciate you coming down to have a chat to me.
Really happy
you know what I mean? I'm made up to see it, and hopefully it won't be as long again.
I know. It'll not be.
Boss, so thank you very much, mate. Thank you. All right.